Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-March 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Virgo collective in mid-March 2026? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo in mid-March. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get it flowing here for our good friends. Hopefully, there we go. Cool. Oh, I haven't seen this card in quite a while. I like that. I always feel like this energy is pretty unique, and she always makes me smile. The lady with the beehive hairdo, and she has all these things in her hair. Busy, busy mind, right? Now, there's a lot of positivity in this card, but there's also some things to watch out for, that's for sure. But before we fully get into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So we see this lovely lady here with her big hair, and she has all these different artistic implements in her head. So first, in the most positive sense, this is highly, highly creative. So for any of you that are looking for some creative problem solving or just getting those creative juices flowing, this is great for thinking outside of the box and ideas. That's the one thing I really, really love about this. So any sort of creativity injection into your life, situations, whatever it might be, are highly, highly favored, whether it's business or pleasure. So I really like that. But the downside, she literally has a lot of stuff on her mind, right? Like the symbolism's right there in our face. So for some Virgos, maybe your mind is in a lot of different places. Maybe your mind is a little scattered and you're dealing with this and this and this and this. There's just so much on my mind. So this can sometimes be a little Eight of Swords like, where it's like thinking, the mind is always going, going. And I know Virgos are very cerebral. I do a lot of personal sessions with Virgos. Love the Virgo collective. But you are all very cerebral individuals, and this energy does kind of link into that, but we're just going to let her chill out. It's great for the creativity, like I mentioned, and coming up with ideas, but you might need something to help calm that brain a little bit. But we'll let her chill out. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card there, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. Let's shuffle it up one time here for Virgo. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled An Unfinished Situation. And to me, the big thing that was lingering in the energy was someone, even if it wasn't yourself, that feels like there's something that still needs to get marked off the list, that there's some sort of unfinished business or something that still needs to be tended to. So again, whether that's you or somebody else, it was in the energy quite strong last week. So just know that could bleed over for a couple weeks, but we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for my Virgo friends. What do we got in mid-March, please? What do we got for our good friends? There we go. Cool. Ace of Wands. I mean, that's starting off with a bang, right? That's like a mini tower, right? So I like the Ace of Wands. There's like a good combustible type of energy here. It's like hitting the ground running, hopefully. Let's get 2 more. What do we got for Virgo here? Thank you. 9 of Wands. A lot of fire around you this week, my good friends. Something we're going to need to pay attention to. Well, let's get 1 more, especially with Virgo being an earth sign. Too much fire, it could be a little uncomfortable. Okay. So there's something here about like energetic investment, energy levels in general, balance being needed, especially with the 6 of Pentacles right here on the back. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, if you watch my readings, you know I always like to look at the elements first, because that kind of frames the whole reading, kind of tells us how the energy's flowing and how it's moving. And we have a mixture of fire and earth. So part of it's a little tense, right? I'm picking up a little tension. And then this one is comfortable. So there's like a little give and take, a little push pull. in the way the energy's showing up. Now, when it comes to fire, there's good aspects to it as well. That's the suit of action. So whether it's the actions you take, the actions other people take, um, it could speak about health, energy levels, whether you're feeling like you're high energy or low. Fire can represent just overall vitality, passion, drive, desire, motivation, so our internal push. But the downside to fire could be a little volatile, a little explosive. It could take a left on us real quick, especially starting with this Ace of Wands and how it flows. So we'll keep a close eye on it. On the back end, we have Earth, your comfort zone. That's your power element. It could speak about stability, security, whether that's internal or external. It's huge when it comes to money, work, finances, the material aspects of life, home and family. So it could just be day-to-day life as well. But the downside to Earth, sometimes it could feel a little stagnant. So you see what I mean? There's like this little push-pull. There's a little tension here where the energy's wanting to push forward, but it's also holding back. It's like push, pull. So we're going to have to see how all this plays. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with a bang. As I mentioned, we got the Ace of Wands right here. Now, I love all aces. I would say they all represent offers and opportunities. It's a fresh, new type of energy. But the Ace of Wands has a bit of a different vibe compared to the other ones because it is very, very fiery. That's why I said it's kind of like a mini tower, right? Where it has that shocking aspect to it, that fiery, explosive aspect, but it's just toned down a little bit. Now, this is great for something popping off quick, whether it's action, whether it's your energy levels. It's like a burst of energy. So we really want to clarify this and see what it's about. Now, again, aces could also be a conversation of some sort or a message. To me, it's like the spark that starts something off. The downside to it, this energy can dissipate quickly. That's the thing with all aces. They have a lot of energetic potential, but it's like, all right, it's limited time only. There's like an expiration date. So we want to see, is this an action? Is it a talk? Is it an offer? There's a lot of things, or just the overall energy. Could be a little bit of all of them, actually. So I like that we start here. An action card is way better to me than like an immovable energy, right? The Ace of Wands starting us off is way different than if we're starting with the Hierophant. Right now, moving to the middle, we have the Nine of Wands. So more fire, but this one presents in a totally different way. A lot of people like to call this card the Wounded Warrior. And we see this individual, they have built themselves a wall or a gate behind them. Got the little bandage on the head. So this card can represent healing, rest, recuperation, recovery. So whatever you might be going through, it might just take a little time to get back to normal. That's very possible when this card is here. The positives, it's protective. It's a very smart card. It's like very analytical. I'm watching, I'm making sure everything's on track. So to me, it's like very protective and territorial in a good way. It can be that. But the downside, the Nine of Wands can represent overprotectiveness. This could represent blockages. This could represent big problems. And in its roughest case scenario with the wall, it could represent a rejection of some sort. So whether it's a thought, a habit, a person, like this energy is like, nope, putting a wall up. So we're going to want to look at this much further as well. And since it is fire, it does have that fiery, explosive quality to it that we do want to look at. So there's good aspects here. When I see the combination of the Ace of Wands and the Nine of Wands, it's like energy that's a little wild and then a little cautious. You see what I mean? There's like this tension there where it's like, I want to do this, but I'm not letting myself do it. There's this thing that I want, but I can't have it. So we'll circle back. Now, moving here on the back end, we have the Six of Pentacles. And I would say this is good, aside from it being your power element. The Six of Pentacles, we see the person with the scale, so it does have karmic undertones to it. And what are they doing? They're giving these pentacles. It's like sharing, it's open, it's charitable, it's giving. So that could be great. It could represent somebody wanting to invest in something, wanting to invest in a situation. So whether it is monetarily or even personal relationships, this could represent balance and equality. Are you doing too much? Is someone not holding up their end of the bargain? These are things we think of with this card. It is very giving, and it's one of my cards of gift giving as well. But the issue or the challenge aspect of the Six of Pentacles, sometimes it can give too much. Right, so you see what I mean? We have this burst of energy, this push-pull, and then we have the Six of Pentacles. Like, am I doing too much? Am I doing too little? There's this energy that's bouncing back and forth. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Virgo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Ace of Wands. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Ace of Wands. What do we got here? What do we got here for Virgo? Cute. Yeah, it's a little wild. It's just everything all at once. So if this is action, it's just like an avalanche. Or if this is a conversation, it's something that's been pent up for a very long time. And it's just like everything all comes out at once. So watch out for like suppression of anything. And again, this could be somebody else where it's like they bit their tongue for so long that everything just started spilling out. That's the big vibe I'm picking up here in the front. And it's interesting when we look at the big picture, we have like this really amped up energy, then this really cautious energy, and then the balance. So maybe we're going to look at different routes or ways to handle something. But the Page of Cups, in the upright, emotional, very communicative. Pages have very similar energy to aces. They're huge when it comes to messages and conversation. So when I see it in reverse, it's either one of two things. Either it is somebody biting their tongue, pushing things down, suppressing. I'm going with my intuitive feeling here, though. It just feels like everything all at once. So if this is action, when it's like quiet for a long time and then like for a couple days it's just mayhem, it feels something like that, where it's like quiet, quiet, crickets, crickets, and then boom, full intensity. So watch out for things like that. Don't do too much at once. There's something here about needing to pace it out. And if it is a conversation, it could most definitely be like an explosive one. Because this energy, it's like once the floodgates open, it's just letting loose. So we're going to keep moving, but that's the main vibe. Watch out for any conversations that either come in out of nowhere, where it's a lot of stuff out of nowhere, or it just intensifies really quick. Because to me, it's like someone was holding something in so long that once that floodgate opens, there's no closing it. It's like Pandora's box. Let's move in on the Nine of Wands. Let's see what's up. So we got that around communication, the explosive energy. Let's see what the cautious Nine of Wands is here. Please, what's happening? Thank you. Okay. Caring from a distance. Okay. So like this energy, when I see the Nine of Wands with the Two of Cups, it's like I care, but I need to care from over here for a while. Like it's an energy that has like a degree or two of separation. I like the Two of Cups. It's good. It represents partnerships and connections, soul ties. And when I see it underneath the Nine of Wands, either one, this is someone that is very protective of their person. I don't want to say jealous. I don't want to say possessive, but like the Nine of Wands with the Two of Cups, it's like, no, that's mine. This thing, this person, it's mine. So there's like this territorial aspect I'm picking up. But the main vibe I'm seeing here with like the Nine of Wands and the Two of Cups is like, okay, that was a lot. I'm taking a little step back here where it's like I still care, but it's like I need space. Like that's the thing here. It's like I need a little bubble. I need a bubble of space. So if you need some you time, there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you need some time to just self love, self care, cool. Yeah, like and watch for miscommunications too. That's like another message because the Two of Cups is usually communicating so smooth, right? When I have the Nine of Wands with the Two of Cups, it's like, what is this different vibration I'm picking up? Like why are we not getting through? Like how is there this miscommunication? How do you not see it from my side? So it's like we have a lot of stuff, especially here in the middle. It doesn't feel like a straight out like rejection of some kind. To me, just watch out for the misunderstandings, especially with what we have up here in the front. But there is also this like I care, but I need a little space, or I'll care from a distance. So that could be advice from spirit too, where it's like if this does happen, this energy, maybe take a step back for a minute because that might be the best route. So we're going to keep moving. There's odd energy around communication. It's like everything all at once, everything all at once, and then like crickets. But let's go in on the Six of Pentacles, then we'll do a quick little recap. Yeah, and then also that like very territorial energy as well. But let's see why the Six of Pentacles is here. Why is the Six of Pentacles here? Yeah, very specific. Okay. So to me, it does feel more so like an advice. So we do have the moon in the upright underneath the Six of Pentacles. The moon is one of the biggest cards of mystery. So could we just slap a label on with like the Six Pentacles of Moon and be like, yeah, this is like an unexpected or surprising win? Sure, we can. It does fit that if we're looking at it in the classical sense. But I'm also getting something that's a little more metaphorical, where it's like, you know what, sometimes you don't need to know how you're going to get from A to B. With whatever situations you're dealing with, whether things are good, whether they're not so good, whether things are boring, sometimes spirit's like, well, trust in the end goal, trust in the end. And that's an advice a lot of people give when it comes to manifesting. Is like, you need to know what you want. You need to know where your end goal is, and don't worry about the in between. Don't worry how you're going to get from here to there. There's like this energy where it's like everything will get where it needs to go, even if you don't know how that's going to happen. It's like a bridge of events. But I do like the way the energy turns out. So for a lot of you, even though there's like all this tension and this push, pull, this explosiveness around communication, sometimes a little hush hush quietness can smooth things over. Right? When I see the Six of Pentacles with the moon, it's like very low pressure. Whereas like up here, it's all pressure. It's all pressure. Back here, it's like hands off, low pressure, let things smooth out for a minute. So for some of you, like the hands off approach with something might be the best. Either that or trust in the end goal and try to not stress about how you get from A to B. Hope that makes sense. But that's like the main thing that's coming through to me here. But I like where it goes. I can tell you that. Wherever you are on the spectrum, I like where the energy goes. So let's go through and do a quick little recap, then we'll get into the shadow. If you kindly look in the box, position number one, watch out for a communication of any kind in this time. But we have the Ace of Wands with the Page of Cups in reverse. And this to me does feel like an explosive talk or message where it's like someone may have bit their tongue for a long time and like build up, build up, build up, everything all at once. So if this is action we're looking at, it's just intensity, really like a lot, just so much at once, floodgates open. But watch out for any communication that goes that way as well, because there is a lot of energy here on the back end that's advising a hands-off approach. As we move to the middle, we have the Nine of Wands with the Two of Cups. The first thing I felt was like, I'll care, but I'll care from over here for now. Like that's how the energy feels. Also, there's a big protective, somewhat possessive quality I'm picking up here in the center. But the communication issues where it's like someone where you might usually be on a similar vibration with, it's like we're on a different frequency here. It's like there's a lot of misunderstandings, miscommunications. On the back end, we have the Six of Pentacles with the moon. Could it be an unexpected or surprising win? Sure. I feel to me it's more so trusting the direction it's heading in and not worrying how it's going to get there for now. But there's also this this really good energy of a low pressure approach working the best for you with whatever it is you might be dealing with. Not that you don't care, but it's just very low pressure. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out. What we got here for Virgo? Thank you. Cool. High Priestess, beautiful, very intuitive energy. It does link to Pisces, just like this moon card over here. I also give her to all the water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. I feel like they all embody High Priestess vibes. Now, she is the matron of psychics, intuitives, tarot readers, and when she shows up, especially in the shadows, she's an energy that belongs in the shadows, where Spirit could just be saying, hey, Virgo, trust your gut with something, trust your intuition with something, because she is highly, highly intuitive. I would say as a warning, the High Priestess can sometimes be a little secretive. Sometimes this energy could purposely try to hide things or gloss over things. So hopefully there's not somebody that's leaving out big chunks of information with situations you're dealing with. She's a card that can induce a lot of questions. I mean, so I love her for her intuition, but she could be a little too quiet sometimes. So it's like the opposite of what we had within the reading this week. And for those of you that are energetically sensitive, when I see her in the shadows, just protect your energy a little extra in this time, because you might be hypersensitive to the energy of those around you. So we're going to let her chill out right there, my good friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight into your situation and you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The March calendar is live and spots go quick, so you could go check that out. But for the March subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 subscribers to win either a copy of the Everyday Witches Tarot, beautiful deck, or handmade crystal pendant, which I showcase at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what zodiac signs do you get along best with? Which ones are your favorite? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.